Thanks, S16. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the problems that were there that caused me to stop live streaming aren't exactly not there anymore, but I figured out a way to be able to deal with it if it does go off. So I'll know if the stream's gone off, basically. Right, audio check, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Right, audio check, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Welcome back, everybody, to the Red Arrows Formula One League, as we're just getting going for the one-shot qualifying here for the sprint race for round 9 of 14 for this 14 round season here for season 16. So we're here tonight during the daytime at Las Vegas on the Las Vegas Strip. I can't even begin to imagine the disruption that a daytime qualifying must be making on the good people of Las Vegas, but nonetheless, here we are then. So going to keep an eye on the top runners here. Obviously, in terms of the championship situations, it's Cucumber who leads the championship coming into tonight, although Cucumber, I don't think he's here tonight. Oh, he is actually. No, he is, sorry. Just a bit down the order so far in the first sector, coming on this one flying lap that they've all got. So Super Striker is currently leading through the first sector. And Clen is flying high as well, doing a good job so far. Clen has just moved ahead of Super Striker very briefly there. Angry Guns has had a nightmare on his lap, so looks like it's not going to be, well, it's certainly not going to be a top 10, probably, I wouldn't imagine, going to be higher than 15th as things stand for Angry Guns, unless somebody gets DQ'd from this qualifying lap. So we're watching Super Striker here, who's currently the highest runner on this leaderboard, as Little Mahin's moved through into second, having a very strong qualifying so far, as we're 2/3 of the way around the lap here, coming through the final section here of this Las Vegas street circuit. Super Striker there looking pretty tidy there through the chicane, took plenty of speed out of it, and I reckon he's going to be good for pole position here. Little Mahin just behind. Clen currently third. Here they come then, around the final corner. So Super Striker is on pole ahead of Little Mahin second, with Clen third, Northover fourth, Corey P5, Ernie was sixth, and there's the rest of them coming through. So Onzi, Cucumber, ZX10 and Murph, the top 10. Ernie lining up in P6 for tonight. Oh, Badman down in P13, so big shocker there for Badman. Not like Badman at all to see him that far back. I think might have had a bit of a scrappy lap there, but nonetheless, Super Striker there putting it on pole ahead of Little Mahin, with Clen and Northover rounding out the top 4. We've got Ernie, as I was saying, Ernie P6. He took a dramatic win on the final lap in the Premier Formula Racing League last night at Monaco. It was a very dramatic last gasp, last lap overtake, which won him the race on his fresher tyres. But can he repeat the feat here tonight? And what's going to be a 2-race event here, sprint race and the Grand Prix coming up afterwards. Here we go, guys, getting underway here for the formation up here for the sprint race tonight to kick things off here at the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. But tonight's action here for round 9 of this 14-round season tonight at the Las Vegas street circuit. So interestingly, Super Striker's done what he often does in the sprint races and gone for the medium tyres. We've got Little Mahin on the hards. Clen's also gone for the mediums, likewise the pole sitter. Northover and Corey have gone for the hard tyres. It's a real mix-up actually in terms of tyres. I'd say most of them have gone for the mediums, but it's pretty even split. Ernie, Onzi on the mediums. We've got Cucumber on the mediums as well. ZX10 on the hards. Murph, Uanian and Andrew Pittsmith all on the mediums. We've got Badman on the hard tyres, starting down in P13. It'll be a long way back for Badman. And then we've got C-Mac and Angry Guns rounding out the classification there. Both of those two on the medium tyres as well. As you guys, I do apologise for my voice tonight. It was a bad night for me to, well, a bad time for me to go back to live streaming, because as happens now, I don't know, it must be about 6 or 7 times a year now. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to, Jesus Christ, I didn't mean to say that. But it feels like it's multiple times a year now. I'll get this crippling flu that will stop me from being able to talk, and I'll be coughing non-stop and having to clear my throat. It's just, oh God, the joys of getting old, I swear to God. I never used to get ill. Maybe once or twice a year. Now it's like, oh God, I don't know. My immune system, it's falling apart. It is being ripped to shreds, but nonetheless, the drivers here coming around the final corner as we're about to get underway here for the first race of the night, as Super Striker will be the one to get us underway. His teammate lining up on the front row alongside him, Little Mahin putting in a shift in that one-shot qualifying a few moments ago. Clen and Northover on the second row. Clen could do some damage from there. The championship leader's down in 8th place here at the start of this race, Cucumber, so he's got work to do. This could be a chance for Super Striker to close some more points. He's a long way behind in that championship table, but here we go. The lights are going to be coming on in just a second. And it's lights out, and we're underway here as we head down towards turn 1. So we've got Super Striker there with a comfortable lead as Clen looking around the outside here of Little Mahin into turn 1. But Little Mahin's got that one covered at the moment as Northover looking to try and attack here on Clen, but nothing doing. Clen's got that inside line covered for the time being as they come out onto the long straight as Super Striker's already clearing away out the front. Clen trying to hold on ahead of Northover, who's looking to the outside. Northover nowhere to go there because he's got Little Mahin right in front of him. Can Clen manage to squeeze him out here? Northover's managed to stay alongside here through this sequence of corners. Great battle here between these two. Northover's got the inside line for his next left-hander and should be able to get this move done, and he does get that move done up into 3rd place. And Clen down a position here. He's got Northover's teammate Cucumber, who's made an absolute flying start here. Cucumber up into 5th place, so he's not messed about at all here on this opening lap. The championship leader and former champion of this Red Iris Formula 1 League here has definitely got off to a flyer so far anyway. Batman also a driver who's had a strong start. He's up into P10 from 13th on the grid. 3 place gains here in the opening half a lap here for him as we got Little Mahin's out of the race. Oh no, Little Mahin after a cracking qualifying, and he's caught up a load of drivers here in this one as well, as it looks like Ernie's been caught up in that one, Andrew Pittsmith as well, and that is Angry Guns there missing a front wing, so absolute carnage here on the first lap of the race. And I can't see a safety car, which is absolutely miraculous. I've seen safety cars deployed for half of that, but never mind. The F125 game was not built on logic. But anyway, Super Striker has to get over 2 seconds right now over Cucumber as they're coming around the final corner here. There's Corey ahead of Murph and Onzi, who are fighting out over 4th and 5th places at the moment, as Murph there staying ahead of Onzi for the time being in that one. But we've got a lot of drivers into the pits here. No surprise, Clen, C-Mac, ZX10, Badman and Angry Guns all coming in as we see Uanian thrown in the towel in the early stages as well, as North over there moving ahead of Onzi with some DRS and has made that move comfortably there up into 5th place. But exciting opening lap to the race then. Super Striker's out in front though with a very comfortable lead at the moment of over 2 seconds over Cucumber. The championship leader's gone from 8th to 2nd place in just the first lap of the race. What an unbelievable opening lap of the race there from Cucumber. There's Corey ahead of Murph running in 4th place. Northover and Onzi there currently locked horns in about their 5th and 6th places. And Onzi's going to look to try and come back at Northover, having lost that position a few moments ago. Bit of DRS here, is it? No, not on this bit. Oh, here we go, DRS now. But he's already almost got the move done here, is Onzi, as he now tucks into P5, and that is job done there. And Northover can't do a whole lot about that. That's Northover up into P5. Gap at the front between Super Striker and Cucumber staying at around 2 seconds at the moment. Both of these two on the medium tyres. We'd expect those tyres to be quicker in this first stint, but as this race wears on, the hard tyre runners will start to get their reimbursement. Corey obviously on that on those hard tyres running in 3rd place, not too far behind. See ZX10 there moving ahead of C-Mac up into P10. Murph here trying to challenge on the back of Corey. Obviously he's closed up onto the back of him here. Corey on his hard tyres, falling off for the leaders a little bit over the last, well, first couple of laps really. But Murph's trying to force initiative here. Murph and Northover not too far behind. They're running in P5 and 6. C-Mac there with a 3-second penalty. First driver in this race to pick up that dreaded infraction. So we see potentially a 4-way battle here on the horizon here for third place, with Corey and Murph fighting over third place, and Onzi and Northover just creeping a little bit closer there in the background. So this could be an interesting fight very shortly here for the podium places. Keeping an eye on the gap between first and second. It's extending between Super Striker and the Cucumber by about half a second a lap. Super Striker seems to have the edge over Cucumber at this point. See, Clen's done the fast step of the race there, obviously on fresh tyres, having put his mediums on a couple of laps ago. I wish it was say no to racism. It isn't. But well, I think let's say it hasn't helped my case over the years, but it's at the moment it's got nothing to do with that. But Murph nonetheless still pretty close on the back of Corey at this point as they're coming over the line here, so he's keeping him on his toes at the moment in this fight for third place. They've still got Onzi not too far away. Northover's just dropped off for these guys a little bit in that fight for P3. He now seems to be a little bit detached from them. Angry Guns here looking pretty racy on the back of C-Mac. C-Mac looking close on the back of Angry Guns, should I say. In the fight for 11th place as well. That could be one to keep an eye on. But for Murph here, is he gonna, what's he more focused on? Is he more focused on Corey in front of him or Onzi behind him knocking on the door? C-Max picked up another 3-second penalty here for track limits, so he really is racking them up. It's awkward, considering the last comment. But yeah, he is. Yeah, he's been certainly accumulating those penalties over the course of this race so far. He's the only driver to pick up a penalty, but he's got more than one of them. There's Onzi here now looking to pile the pressure on the back of Corey, of Murph even. Murph has dropped off at the back of Corey a little bit over the last few laps, and now this is giving Onzi just that little bit of impetus here to try and really put the pressure here on the back of Murph. As here we go then. But the DRS is going to surely blast past. He's already passed him before they even get to the DRS zone. And that's going to be an easy move there for Onzi up into 4th place. So that is job done there for the Alpine driver ahead of the Haas car of Murph. There's Northover in the background there, not too far away from these guys, but seems to just dropped off for them over the last few laps a little bit. Murph here still all over the back. Onzi in his fight for 4th place. These guys is coming to the end of the first sector. So these two, I think it's going to be going down to the wire here between these two for 4th place. I think they're a bit too far behind Corey now. So Corey is looking pretty safe there in that 3rd spot. I think it's between these two to try and settle it for 4th. Northover's managed to gain a little bit over the last lap or so. Saying that Onzi's just extended the gap over a second here to Murph, so I think he might be safe and sound here in this battle here for 4th place. Northover looking like he's got a good chance here of making a move on Murph right now. Tell you what, he's well within a second, and Murph is struggling to keep within the DRS here of Onzi, so Northover might fancy a move here as we move on to the penultimate lap here of this sprint race. Murph still clinging on to this one for the time being. Can't seem to go with this Alpine at the moment. He's struggling to keep tabs as we see. Oh no, Ernie's binned it. Ernie's in the wall as we're on the penultimate lap of the race. He's just about to start his penultimate lap. He was on lap 7. He's binned it there through, I think, the final corner or the final section, maybe the final chicane. That could be the final chicane there, is it? As it's not letting us go trackside there, it's making us watch the onboard. But Ernie is dropping down to the back. He's retired the car as well, so that's a rage quit there for Ernie. And yeah, unmistakably there, that was the chicane, that tricky chicane, which leads to that final stretch towards the start finish line. And Ernie, unfortunately, what a seesaw of fortunes there, obviously, after last night taking the win on the final lap of the race in the Premier Formula Racing League. But tonight, here to kick things off for the night at Red Arrows, he seems to be having a mare. He wasn't having a bad race, to be fair, up until that point, but that's very unlike Ernie to do something like that. So it looks like Northover's got ahead of Murph. He's made that move up into 5th place, so he obviously was right at the back of him for a while. He has now got himself into clean air, but Murph's going to surely try and come back at him on this final lap of the race. They are on the final lap. So that's those two there going into town once again here. There's Clen running in P7 after a strong quality. Unfortunately, that's where the strength's diminished considerably, but hopefully we'll be seeing a much better version of Clen over the course of the Grand Prix. I think potentially a bit of damage might have cost him here in this race because he had the pace in the sprint, or rather the quali, should I say, and that pace has not been replicated whatsoever over the course of this sprint race. But for Murph here, can he wrestle back what was just taken from him a lap ago from Northover? Northover's going to try and cling on to this P5, which he's been pursuing for a while, and he finally managed to attain it on that previous lap, and he's managed to extend the gap by just over a second here, although it's ebbing and flowing. And if Murph can have a strong next couple of corners, he might be able to get back in within that crucial 1 second barrier. Say No to Racism says Ernie's been up and down like a single mum at the job centre on a Tuesday. I'll tell you what, yeah, you should definitely be a commentator. Say No to Racism. I think you'd be better than I would at it. You have like a just the perfect words for everything. Oh, so Northover's come a bit detached here from the back of Murph. But in the meantime, Super Striker has taken the win here for the sprint race. Cucumber second. Corey completes the podium there ahead of Onzi in fourth. Northover comes over in P5 with Murph in sixth in the end. Managed to chase him to the flag, but Northover held on for P5. Then a big gap back to Glenn, who's going to be coming round to take 7th place here in this one. Not the race that Clem would have wanted after that qualifying, which was showing signs of strong promise. Clem set P7 ahead of ZX10, who's 8th. Angry Guns is going to take 9th place in the end, ahead of Badman, who will take 10th place here. They'll be hoping for better in the Grand Prix. And Andrew Pittsburgh with the last driver over the line, finishing P11 with C-Mac, Uadian, Little Mahin and Ernie, all unfortunately not making it to the checkered flag here for this opening race of the night. But that's the appetizer done, and now it's on to the main course. Say No to Racism says next Sunday we do a dual commentary on the Premier Racing Sim Racing League. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I'd love that. That would be cool. Seeing as, because I think you'd be brilliant. I think, you know, there's me who'd be like, you know, sort of describing the action and the racing, and then you'd be like the guy with the one-liners, you know, the pundit, the sort of like a. I don't know. I just got this feeling that like you'd be really good in like the dry wit kind of scenarios. I don't know why. I think it'd be perfect. I think it would be brilliant. I've never heard you talk, but I just get that impression, you know. I don't know why. Just something tells me. God. Better try and get this out of my system. We'd be lucky to get 100, let alone 100k. I couldn't believe it when I woke up this morning and saw we had over 100 on last night's stream. Especially because it had gone out at midnight, but I mean, I'll take it, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, I was quite shocked because it's a long time since I got those sort of numbers. Then again, I've been streaming for a few months, so maybe that's probably why. Yeah, it's not often that I get over a ton nowadays. Overnight, straight after the race. Usually takes at least a week or so to get to those numbers. But anyway, we're here again for the second qualifying session, everybody. So we got Andrew Pittsmith currently leading us at the moment, although it's early doors here on these current laps that they're on. Uanian now takes the lead. Super Striker now in front, so a lot of fluctuation here. Badman having a better showing this time, currently in 6th as it stands. Super Striker's just plummeted down the order leaderboard here, so I don't know if he's been DQ'd from the session maybe. Super Striker now P15, so that could be a disaster here for Super Striker. He could be really on the back foot. Obviously the race winner from the sprint race a few moments ago could have a lot of work to do over the course of the Grand Prix. But nonetheless, we have got Glenn currently on provisional pole. It's very, very close though between Glenn, Corey and Badman. Badman's had a strong middle sector here, and the final part of the lap could be a good one as well. Corey though takes pole position for the Grand Prix ahead of Glenn in second. Badman I think was third in the end. and then Cucumber P4. So it'll be good for Cucumber's championship. Obviously, he's a long way ahead in the standings. Before we came into the sprint race, I don't know about after, as you do get a few more points for sprint races here at Red Arrows compared to most F1 leagues. The sprint races, they pay out almost as much as the Grand Prix points. But Corey Brennan taking pole by 0.04 of a second in the end. A very, very tight qualifying there, with Clen second, doing a fantastic job. Badman will be lining up just behind Clen in third place, with Cucumber fourth. And then we've got Angry Guns P5 ahead of Onzi in sixth. Northover seventh with Ernie eighth. Little Mahin ninth. ZX Tenor P10. And then we've got Murph 11th, Uranian 12th, Andrew Pittsmith in P13, followed by CMAC 14th, and Super Striker will be rounding out the grid in P15. Shocker for him. Need to hydrate. Need to rehydrate. I really could do with another bottle of water, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. Oh dear. Seems to be a bit of a delay getting going for this one. I'm not sure what's going on. I could have made a cup of tea, forget just a bottle of water, mate. I could have made bloody dinner in that time. I really don't know what's going on. Oh dear. Translation, I could have had a nap, but never mind. I don't know if they're waiting for a driver. They might be waiting for one of the drivers to jump in and start from the back, I'm not sure. I don't know, Jeff. Oh. I've just seen a preview of that, of your latest comment, but it hasn't shown up on my TV yet, so I can't see all of it. I've seen the first bit. I think it might have got flagged, that comment, because I saw it come up. It came up on my remote play, the first part, but I didn't see the rest of it. It hasn't come up on YouTube, but who knows, it might. Anyway, getting going for the formation lap here. So we've got Corey Brennan starting this one on pole position. Corey actually is interestingly, topically in terms of the championship, he's one of the closest contenders to Cucumber in the standings so far. He is actually second in the championship coming into tonight, so Corey could have a good chance here to gain some points. Sits 24 points behind before the sprint race tonight. Obviously the sprint race would have changed things a little bit, but this could be an important night here for Corey. Try and claw back some points. Cucumber is in 4th place, so he's not exactly a million miles away. He's certainly in the picture, and potentially could do some damage from P4. Could quite feasibly win the race. So for Corey, the job is by no means done yet. But Clan and Badman, obviously Cucumber, there's lots of drivers in there who are going to have a good chance of putting some pressure on the poles here to Corey tonight. One driver who's not going to be a threat for a little while, if indeed at all in this race, is going to be Super Striker running in P15, or it's going to be starting this one in P15. So he's got a lot of catching up to do over the course of this race. It's not impossible, especially if there's a couple of safety cars, and you never know, around a street circuit like this there could quite easily be a safety car or two. But without the aid of a safety car, it could be a very, very long evening here for Super Striker. As here they come then, lining up on the grid. And oh, it's Clen there with a big slide as he went into his grip position. Oh my goodness. Wow. And there we go, yeah, he's got into his position now. So here we are then, a lot of drivers are lining up on the grid. We're moments away from the start of the Las Vegas Grand Prix here for the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. This round 9 of this 14 round season here for season 16, as the lights are coming on out of the head of the grid. It's lights out, we're underway. And it looks as though Corey got a very good start there from pole. Badman got a better start than Clen, although Clen's going to cover it into turn 1, and Badman's got Cucumber up his inside there, going through the first corner as Cucumber's side by side with him, and it looks like he might have had that one done there, Cucumber, into P3. So Cucumber then has made his way through up into 3rd place. In the background there you've got Onzi looking to the outside of Badman as well, but not in a position to do much there. North over there in P6 out of Angry Guns, and you've got ZX10 there followed by Ernie, and then you've got Uranian ahead of Little Mahim with Andrew Pittsburgh. Super Striker up into P13 has had a decent start here, up 2 places here as they come through the first sector. Angry Guns is dropping down the order a little bit here, down to 8th place on this first lap of the race, so it's not gone too great there for Angry Guns, as we've got Ernie up into 9th place, trying to make gains of those. Just lost out to Uranian there. Uranian squeezing through as they go through that long left-hander, and Uranian up into P9 there ahead of Ernie for the time being. But out the front, Corey's got a comfortable cushion at the moment. Obviously it's first lap, so you're not going to be miles ahead, but he's not under tremendous pressure from Ken at this point. The gap 0.6 of a second as they come down this long straight here for the first time. Badman using out to Cucumber in those first few corners, and he's coming under pressure here as we see Northover squeezing ahead of Onzi up into P5 there through the chicane, although Onzi's there's lost out to ZX Tenor as well, so losing 2 places there in all of that. Northover up a position, ZX Tenor up a position as well as they come over the line to complete the first lap of the race. And there's the situation right now as they all come through turn 1 on lap 2 of the race. But out the front it's Corey here, who's got the gap just over a second over Glenn, so he's settling into a bit of a rhythm right now. Is Corey looking to assert his authority here on the rest of these drivers here tonight. Oh, somebody gone very wide there in the background. Somebody completely missed the corner. That was ZX Tenor, I think, there, who went straight onto a chicane. Onzi up into P6 as a result of that one. So that was unplanned there from ZX Tenor. Super Striker in the meantime has moved up into 10th place now, so he's up 5 places from where he started. He's not hung about here in his early stages. His teammate currently 2 places behind him, having not had the best of qualifying compared to what he had in the first race. Obviously the sprint race, the Ferraris were right up there, but so far in the Grand Prix, well, obviously they've made up places, but the qualifying was not to the same standard that we saw in the sprint race. In the meantime, Cucumber's got ahead of Glenn up into 2nd place, so now the championship leader moving behind his championship rival into P2, right behind him, as we see a bit of a to-do there in the background as ZX Tenor squeezing back through ahead of Uranium for the time being. Onzi right behind these guys as well has lost places here in the opening few laps and has now been passed on the inside there by none other than Super Striker. So Super Striker continuing to make gains here in the early stage of this race. That is yet another driver who's picked off, and he's up 7 places from where he started. What an unbelievable opening couple of laps it's been from Super Striker. Badman here with a bit of DRS and a bit of slipstream here. A little bit too far back going into the corner as Northover gives him a bit of a tap in the rear. Onzi there going a bit deep. Potentially could allow Super Striker a look, but not just at the moment. Cucumber here all over the back of Corey at the moment as they're coming through this middle part of the lap here, so he's going to have DRS here as Cucumber. He should be able to have a crack at the race leader down this long straight with a bit of DRS and a bit of slipstream. Should be a foregone conclusion here for the former champion. I'll tell you what, Corey seems to have some good legs there down the straight. Seems to have good straight line speed, and actually has held on as we see Onzi there diving down the inside of Super Striker, trying to get that position back here. Super Striker manages to hold on to that one, but Onzi there giving it a great fight here for 8th place. He might have left himself open though, because Ernie's now all over the back of him, coming through this flat out section at the end of the lap. Ernie looking to the outside, but Onzi's got that covered as they go into turn 1 once again. As Cucumber has taken the lead from Corey now, so he hits the front. He was on the back of him going into the chicane. He couldn't make that move before the chicane, but he has now got ahead as Onzi's made a mistake. Onzi has dropped back here down to 14th place. Some kind of error, I think. Is there any damage on the car? Visible damage? Not really. So seems to just be maybe a run wide somewhere, maybe, or got caught in a runoff area. Don't quite know. But Onzi there running in P14. In the meantime, Cucumber's still leading the race ahead of Corey at the moment. We've got Badman and Northover fighting out over third place as well. Northover a bit too far back to make a move into that section of the track. Clen's still got a load of drivers behind him. Uranian Super Striker there, stuck in a bit of a train of cars here. I'll tell you what, he's going to be getting frustrated here. He's now looking to the inside of Uranian here for P7. Super Striker will want to negotiate this pack of cars as quickly as he possibly can here, because he's going to be being held up no end at the moment. He looks to the inside of Uranian. As they're side by side here in the foreground, you've got ZX10 trying to have a look at Clen, but nothing doing just there. Oh my goodness me, as Super Striker had to get out of it there because Uranian was going to run him into the barriers. So he's done well there as Super Striker to take evasive action, but he's lost out as a result to Little Mahin, his teammate, and Ernie as well, as he gets back ahead of his teammate on the exit of that right hand bend. So Super Striker tried to gain a place, ended up losing two, but he's gained one of them back here already. But I'll tell you what, he's not having an easy run of it in this one, it has to be said. In the meantime, Cucumber's got the gap almost a second here to Corey, so he's starting to settle a little bit out the front. Corey's not letting him run off into the distance, but certainly Cucumber seems pretty comfortable at this moment in time. Northover still on the back of Badman as well in that fight for P3, which is still raging on there between those two at the moment. So we see Ernie there breezing past Uranian up into 7th place. Well, they're saying that they've both got a run here on Clen, and Clen being passed there by both of them there, as Uranian managing to get back past there. So Uranian repassing Ernie as they went into the corner. Ernie's got the head of Clen as well, so Clen losing 2 places there in that one. So there they are, Uranian P6, Ernie P7, and Super Striker and Clen right behind. So Super Striker getting ahead of Clen now. Clen losing another place. He's going backwards a bit. Oh, and contact there with Little Mahin, as Clen there was trying to hold on, but Little Mahin tapped him in the rear, and they got stuck together. And the result was Clen, I think, probably took the brunt of that, because he would have had the pressure, he would have had the weight of the Ferrari on him as he went into the wall. I think Little Mahin would have got off a bit lighter there with that one. Should probably have a bit less damage, but a disaster there for those two. Saying that, they don't seem to have much damage. Doesn't seem any visible damage. I mean, there could be some floor damage, could be we don't know, but at the moment it looks okay. As Angry Guns there getting ahead of Ernie up into 8th place. Super Striker can now have another crack at Uranian, who almost ran him into the barriers a couple of laps ago, which caused him to lose a few places. Super Striker will have to be a little bit wily about how he goes about this one to avoid a risk of a similar situation playing out again. Cucumber has got a 1.5 seconds of a gap right now over Corey as they're coming around this final corner. There's Northover, who's got Badman all over the back of him here as they come through the final corner over the line to complete lap 6 of the race. Clen into the pits here at the end of lap 6. Oh, Uranian there went a little bit deep through the chicane. That could potentially allow Super Striker a chance here. Thing is, Uranian's going to have DRS most likely on ZX10 still. He's still right on the back of it at the moment. ZX10 leading this trio of cars, but he's threatening to break away from these two whilst they battle. But Super Striker needs to get on with this ASAP. He's actually not that far off the lead, all things being said. Could still have a chance to hunt them down later on in the race, as he's going to have DRS, but also Uranian's going to have DRS on ZX10. They're all going to be closing up on each other here. It's going to be a Constantina effect as they come down towards the chicane. In the meantime, Badman's got ahead of Northover up into 3rd place as they go down towards the chicane. That is job done there for Badman. And there is ZX10 getting ahead of Uranian up into P5 and ahead of Super Striker as well. So for the time being, well, he was already ahead, but staying ahead as they come through the final corner once again. Now Super Striker is going to try and get both of these guys here. Can he be patient here and wait for these guys to trip over each other and swoop through and take the scraps? Who knows how it's going to pan out right now. Almost running into the back of Uranian. This is the part of the track where he almost ended up in the wall a few laps ago, and he had to react brilliantly to avoid being stuck in the fence there by that McLaren, which is right in front of him now. Down the inside goes Super Striker. Now he can get payback here, but he gives him the space and gives him plenty of respect there, and Uranian swoops back through there. So Super Striker had the chance to give Uranian a taste of his own medicine, elected not to do it, maybe down to the risks to his own race that it could potentially entail if he did. But ZX10, Uranian and Super Striker, these three currently locked in a battle here for P5. Oh my goodness me, is in the foreground there. You could see ZX10 went incredibly deep there into the chicane. That's going to potentially allow Uranian to have a free crack here, as he's going to use the oh, he hasn't got DRS just yet. He'll have DRS now. So here we go then. Uranian's going to breeze past. Where is Super Striker? Oh, he's there. He's right there. He's right with them still. So Super Striker there getting ahead of ZX10 as well. So both of them making that move on him. So there we go then. Uranian and Super Striker both up position. Now Super Striker uses the exit, uses the traction out of the chicane, saying that Uranian's got great straight line speed and is actually able to extend the gap. And now he has to tuck back into the slipstream here to Super Striker. Now he's going to have a chance down towards turn one, just a little bit too far away there. And Uranian's still got that one held on to for the time being. A little bit wide there. Super Striker could try and go around the outside here. No, he's going to cut back and go for a potential move here down the end of this long straight. Here goes Super Striker once again then, and he moves through up into P5, and that looks like it is job done there for Super Striker. So now he can try and focus his attention further up. He's only about I'd say about maybe 9-10 seconds off the lead with 18 laps left, or 17 laps left. Be a heck of a feat if he can chase him down. I reckon a podium could be quite a realistic target here. He's only 4 seconds behind Badman. Northover is right in front of Badman, so these two have been battling for a number of laps. They swapped position a few times as well, but now we can give this one our full attention here. So here we go then. Badman with some DRS and some slipstream down towards the chicane. He's going to look to the inside, and this is going to be an easy move here for Badman. Comfortably before we get to the corner, down the inside, just needs to make sure he's got the line here as they come through the chicane. I tell you what, he didn't have the line, did he? He just fumbled about there a little bit. That's going to give Northover a potential chance here with some slipstream coming down towards turn one. And Northover might fancy a move here around the outside. Badman defends the inside line, and looks like he's okay there for the time being. So Badman, oh, maybe not. Oh, it's going to be close. No, Badman should have it done. Saying that, Northover's going to look to try and get a run here down this next straight with some DRS now as well. Badman needs to defend that inside line. He doesn't. He leaves it open, and Northover swoops through once again up into third place. And these two are continuing to give us a great fight here. Super Striker still ahead of Uranian and ZX10 at the moment, despite those guys having DRS, but he hasn't managed to shake them off really, as Super Striker. Badman is going to be getting frustrated here behind Northover because he's on those hard tyres, the more durable hard tyre, so he needs to dispatch Northover as soon as possible so he can reap the benefits of what is the more durable tyre, because at this point he's going to have better pace than the top two, Cucumber and Corey, but at the moment he's not really able to show it. And Northover playing an absolute peach of a drive here for his teammate Cucumber, who's out in front leading the race by just over a second here over Corey. These two not massively stretched apart, but they're not exactly battling either. So Badman once again here with some DRS and some slipstream. Still a bit too far away, they're going into the chicane. Super Striker Uranian and ZX10 are there. Still going at it there for P5, 6, 7, 8. Little Mahin actually on the back of these guys as well now. So Ernie and Little Mahin very much in that fight. As Corey into the pits here at the end of lap 10. So from P2, Corey coming into the pits. Northover here has been passed by Badman again, but this could be a continuation of this fight. He's got DRS saying that. Badman's got a bit of a gap here as he come down towards this next braking zone at the end of the straight, and Northover gets there a bit too late, thought it was a bit of a risk, tucks in for the time being. So Badman's now got this move. Now he needs to try and extend the gap with the better tyres. Through these next few corners, he's on those tyres. Those hard tyres are going to be feeling a lot better than the mediums at this point in the stint. There's no doubt about it. This is Badman's chance to make a break for it and take the money and run here. He's under 6 seconds. His gap to Cucumber out the front, so he'll try and close that down as much as he can before Cucumber makes his what will probably be his one and only pit stop onto the hard tyres. But I'm sure that one and only pit stop will probably be on this lap or the next, to be honest, because we're kind of at that point now, especially for the medium runners. For the hard tyre runners, they'll probably try and go another 4 or 5 laps. But North over here with DRS as they come down towards that final chicane, but he just seems to be a little bit too far away, and Badman now needs to try and make a break through these next few corners. As they got the gap under 5 seconds here to Cucumber. Is Cucumber in the pits? Not sure. Yeah, he is. So Cucumber pits at the end of lap 11. Northover on the medium tyres staying out. Badman on his hard tyres can now try and extend the gap here out the front. Oh god, my voice is fucking quavering at the moment. So Cucumber, Super Striker, Ernie as well in the pits. Uranian likewise. So Corey's actually jumped Cucumber, came in the lap earlier, so now Corey running ahead of Cucumber. These two running in P5 and 6. Cucumber will have the advantage of slightly fresher tyres. It won't make a big difference though, 1 lap delta doesn't really give you much, but he's right there on the back of him, so this is going to be interesting now, because these two, their battling could also slow each other down. That could give the guys who are going a bit longer a bit more impetus here to be a bit closer in their net positions once all is said and done. North over here still on the back of Badman. Is he close enough to make a move? Just a little bit too far back going into the chicane. Similar distance to what he was on the previous lap, so he's stuck with him with that DRS, but Badman's got the ascendancy in that fight for the lead at the moment, and in fact we're going to see Northover coming into the pits here at the end of lap 12, and Badman continuing on his hard tyres for the time being. Now, what are Corey and Cucumber up to? Because this could be for the net win here tonight. They're going to be in a fight definitely with the likes of Badman and Northover. Northover is just coming out of the pit box now. He's got fresher tyres than those guys, although not massively. I don't think Northover's going to be in that fight, to be honest with you. He's too far behind. So Northover's definitely not in that fight with Corey and Cucumber. I reckon they might have it to themselves there, those two, the top two in the championship. So Mahin now has got the DRS once again as they're coming down towards the chicane here, so he's all over the back of Angry Guns. He's looking to the inside, just a little bit too far away. These guys are about 6 seconds off the leader. Badman, those three, the ones who started on the hard tyres, still yet to pit. There's Little Mahin there making the move up into second place here on Angry Guns. And the 3 guys starting on the hard tyres are all staying out for the time being. Bad Man's a driver who is quite well known for going long in the first stint and giving himself a good tyre delta for the final stint. Yeah, the one disadvantage of it is that obviously you do more laps on the worn out tyre, which then loses you time, which gives you more work to do over the course of the second stint. But obviously you've got fresher tyres. So it has its pros and cons, but Bad Man's a driver who tends to have this knack of really extracting the best of the tyres in that final stint. So we'll see how this all goes out, but it's looking very much like it's going to be a fight between Cucumber and Corey for the race victory here tonight. Super Striker could be in a fight for a top 5 here, maybe more. Pardon me, as he's on the back of Glenn at the moment. Could even be a top 4 between those two at the moment, we're not sure. I reckon it's at least a top 5 on the horizon there for either Glenn or Super Striker. And in fact, Super Striker is now ahead of Glenn, and so is Northover. So Northover and Super Striker getting ahead. These two still fighting. Obviously, they've been fighting actually for a while. As Super Striker and Northover, they've been pretty close for a number of laps. Angry Guns now into the pits. Is the first of that hard tyre trio to bring it in to make that stop. As we can see, Cucumber there is now just moving ahead there of Little Mahin. So Little Mahin's lost out there to Cucumber and Corey Brennan. These two on fresher tyres in comparison to the Ferrari driver. Now next up for these two will be Bad Man, but he's 6 seconds up the road, so I feel that probably they'll overtake him when he's in the pits. I don't think they're going to find him on the track. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. Corey here currently still keeping Cucumber on his toes at the moment in that fight for second place. But it's going to definitely be the fight for the win, I reckon, between these two by the time we get to the end of the race, because I mean Bad Man's got a pit and Bad Man's going to come out about 15 seconds behind him at least when he comes in for his medium tyres. So although he's going to have much faster tyres in the final stint, he's going to have an absolute mountain to climb. As Bad Man is in the pits now, so he is coming in to make that one and only stop here in this race. It promotes Cucumber and Corey up into P1 and 2. Jeff Sharp in the comments says, "Hey, even Andy, hello mate, good to see you, Jeff Sharp." North over there, it's just on the fast lap race, and Glenn is out of the race. So what has happened to Glenn here? Glenn has stacked it into the wall somewhere, not quite sure where. Doesn't look like it's a safety car from what I can see. So I think it's actually not even a VSC. Wow. Alright then, we'll Glenn out of the race, and the Las Vegas stewards seem very unconcerned. As Murph taking ahead of Uranian up into P6. Uranian looking to try and send one back up the inside there into chicane, but nothing doing there. Murph's got that one done again. Oh dear. Oh, I tell you what, I definitely need a glass of water after this. My throat's killing me. Oh dear. Right. Corey's still on the back of Cucumber. This is obviously for the lead of the race, as he's got the DRS a little bit too far away there into the chicane. Oh, massive lock up there from Cucumber. Gets it turned into the corner nonetheless. That could have been a hairy moment there for him. That was a close call, but seemed to just about get that one back there. Could have easily locked up and got into the wall, but managed to get the wheels turning before he got to the corner, as now we got Corey to the inside there on Cucumber into turn 1. It's very, very close between these two right now. Is he going to have it done here through this next sequence of corners? Cucumber has that inside line, but now Corey's going to get that better exit, and the DRS coming down the straight. Although Cucumber's had good straight line speed, but not good enough, I don't think. Here comes Corey to the inside, and it's going to be a move for the lead of the race here for Corey. Can Cucumber stay around the outside? No, he can't. Corey there takes the lead on lap 17 of the race, so long way to go yet. He's got a bit of work to do yet, obviously, to try and keep the lead, but for the time being, Corey has gone and wrestled that one off of him. As Jeff says, I used to race about many years ago on F1 2015 before I started sim racing. He was insanely quick back then too. Yeah, he's a properly quick guy. I reckon he'll probably be on the podium here, or maybe not the podium because Super Striker and Northover are pretty quick. But he's definitely going to get Onzi. He's got 3 seconds up the road to Onzi. But yeah, he's won the Purple Sector League on Tuesday nights last season. He races in the Premier Formula Racing League on a Sunday night, or Monday morning, however you want to look at it. And he's done very well in that, as we also see Corey there moving back ahead of Cucumber up into the lead there, as these two continue to chop and change here right now. So we're seeing a cracking battle out the front here between these top two. Northover back ahead of Super Striker as well, up into 3rd place, as these two continue to go at it. Badman's got the gap down to 2nd and a half already here to Onzi, so he is absolutely gaining hand over fist on the Alpine at the moment. As Cucumber here making a move on Corey once again here up into the lead of the race. Striker also getting ahead of Northover, so 2 moves in the space of, well, basically 4 seconds apart there, those two. 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Going at it. Podium places are up for grabs here tonight. As Badman here sizing up his next target here. It's a long way up the road after that though, because he's got 10 seconds up the road to Super Striker and Northover, so this could be the summit of Badman's ambitions here tonight. At P5, it wouldn't be too bad. Sure, he won't be too disappointed. Oh god. It's a bad man here with DRS. He's going to get this move done, and it's going to be quite a routine move here on Onzi, up into 5th place. And Jeff's old mate there, moving up into the top 5, but he's got a long way to go to get up into anything further than that. Super Striker and Northover still fighting over 3rd and 4th places. Not too far off the lead either, to be fair. These guys are only 5 seconds off of Cucumber, the race leader, but I feel that that ship may have sailed there in that one. Cucumber is extending the gap over Corey now as well, so he's looking a bit more comfortable in that race lead and should be able to extend his championship advantage over the driver in 2nd place, who is incidentally 2nd on the track right now behind him, Corey Brennan. North over here with a bit of DRS, getting a bit close to Super Striker once again, but just a little bit too far away there. Down that straight, going into the chicane that time around. Might have to talk in a different key here to try and avoid coughing or having to clear my throat. Trying to find it. I'm trying to find a key that I can talk in that doesn't cause me to want to cough every 5 seconds. I'm not a singer, but there's definitely. I think there's ways around this. It's got to be. Nonetheless, though, Cucumber's still out the front with a gap of 2.5 seconds right now over Corey, so he's continuing to cement his position and cement his lead. Obviously, they did battle it out for a little while, but it seems like now Cucumber has very much solidified that advantage that he's got. Super Striker's extended a little bit over Northover as well. Gap almost a second now. It did just creep over a second a moment ago. Badman's reading these guys in, but I think he's going to get there too late here tonight. I think he's left himself with too much to do after not the best of nights here for him compared to his usual standards, it has to be said. But he is racing as a reserve tonight. He's not a regular racer in the Red Arrows F1 League. But he's had 2 decent fightbacks though, in all fairness. I'll be right back. Oh. Here we are then, lap 22 of this 25 lap race here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix at the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. We've got Cucumber here with just 4 laps left here in this race. Has got just under a 4-second gap, has extended the gap over the last few laps over Corey. Corey could be coming under a bit of pressure here from Super Striker, who's really closed up onto the back of him. Super Striker's shaken off the challenge of Northover now, so he's looking pretty hungry here for a second place, one would assume. Badman's closing in on Northover, but not by enough to be able to have him under any significant duress here in his closing laps, it has to be said. There's a little Mahin has got ahead of Uanian up into P7. That's a move that's done a few moments ago by the looks of it. The Super Striker here is going to try and make another late move here to gain a position. I've got a clip on my TikTok of Super Striker making a last lap overtake to win the race. Tonight it won't be for a win, or at least not at the moment, but could be for some valuable points nonetheless, as he's trying to put this pressure here on the back of Corey Braddon. Corey for the time being holding firm, but Super Striker from not the greatest of positions in this race has done a brilliant job, you have to say. He's been on the back foot for both of these, well, for the Grand Prix here tonight. Obviously took the win in the sprint race, but the Grand Prix certainly hasn't gone to plan for him. in terms of where he wanted to start. He wanted to be way up there, but he started in P15. But has absolutely made the most of it. But I'm sure he'll be gutted to be losing points to Cucumber again. And Cucumber is continuously walking away with this championship. Corey, the closest contender to him, could end up in third place here if he's not careful, because Super Striker is really knocking on that door. Badman's bringing the gap down still to Northover, gap down to 6 seconds. He's getting about a second a lap. It's not going to be enough. But Super Striker here, what can he do on the back of this V-carb? With 2.5 laps left to go here in this Las Vegas Grand Prix here at the Red Arrows Formula 1 League. These guys now 5 seconds behind Cucumber as they fight it out over second place. Super Striker with some DRS and some slipstream is, I think, just going to be there a little bit too late into the chicane. It's going to put Corey under a bit of pressure here coming into the braking zone, but he's not really close enough at this point. He's probably well advised to save some ERS at this point. Then he can blast it all. But having said that, he might make the move here, coming through the final corner. He's on the inside here with Super Striker. Is he going to have a go for a lunge up the inside here? Doesn't look like it just at the moment. He's only got 1 lap fresher tyres than Corey, so he's not going to have a huge advantage under braking. Corey, for the time being, is holding firm. Super Striker now is going to have DRS and slipstream down this second straight. Or sorry, down the, well, I guess it's the second straight, start-finish straight. It's kind of a straight, but nonetheless, he's a little bit too far away there going into the right-hander at the end of the straight. So Corey's done a good job in this race, to be fair. He was in a battle with Cucumber earlier on, but once Cucumber broke that DRS, he was not going to give Corey another chance. He has just got up and run off here in these last few laps. Murph doing the fastest lap of the race here from P13, having put some fresh soft tyres on. But these two are still going at it here for second place. The Super Striker's got a better chance, I think, this time. He's really in the slipstream. He's got DRS now, and he's going to be getting that closing speed once again here on the back of Corey. Now looks to the inside. Super Striker for second place here in this Las Vegas Grand Prix. Makes a move to the inside. Well, Corey's not giving it up. He's looking to try and go back around the outside here. And he gets some good momentum. Oh, and Corey there has pinned it into the barriers. Well, he keeps it out of the wall, actually, brilliantly. But Corey there was just being a bit ambitious, keeping it around the outside there. I don't know where he was trying to go, because the line that Super Striker was on was always going to run him out of road. Super Striker is up into second place. Corey Brennan has thrown away third place here in this race, and is going to be losing tons of points to his championship rival, who is leading the race comfortably out the front. And you have to wonder there, Corey Brennan, whether or not that was just a bit of a desperate move to try and hold on to second place there. I think it was unnecessary, but ultimately it's cost him 2 more places and a few more points as well. Northover into third place, Badman into fourth. And for Cucumber here, he'll be glad that he's clear of all of it. Obviously pulled away from Corey in this final stint at Cucumber. Might have faced some pressure from Super Striker in this Grand Prix, or almost certainly would have done if Super Striker hadn't started from the back. But qualifying is, as they say, half of the job, especially around street circuits like this. It really does set you up perfectly, and Cucumber did exactly that. And it's going to extend the championship gap here for this season, with just 5 races left after tonight. We're approaching the business end of this Red Arrows Formula 1 League Season 16. The Season 14 champion coming into the final chicane for the final time here in this Grand Prix. And he's going to take a very well-deserved Grand Prix victory. A comfortable one in the end, after a blistering final stint here from the Sauber driver. Here he comes then, the former champion of the Red Arrows Formula 1 League, the championship leader for this season, comes over the line to take the checkered flag, and is your winner tonight for the Grand Prix, ahead of Super Striker, who takes second place, the race winner from the sprint race, first and second tonight for him. Northover completes the podium ahead of Corey, who's, oh, is he going to hold on? He just holds on there ahead of Badman, so Corey managed to get back ahead of Badman. Badman on the worn out medium tyres. Corey managed to outrun him there. Badman 5th ahead of Little Mahin 6th. Onzi holds on for 7th ahead of Ueni in 8th, with Angry Guns over in P9. Ernie's going to come through the final corner now. It's going to be 10th place here for Ernie, ahead of Andrew Pittsmith there. Naps ZX10 right at the end to take 11th place. ZX10 12. And Murph with the last driver to finish the race here. In a few moments' time, it's going to be a P13 here for Murph, having set some blistering laps here in the closing stages on those fresh, soft tyres. So well done to him for that. But Cucumber there, the man of the moment there, taking the win and extending the gap in the championship. So well done to Cucumber. And thanks to all the drivers for the Red Iris Formula 1 League for giving us some great action there on my channel. Apologies for my voice. I've said a few times. I've got a terrible cough, and yeah. Oh god, commentating is really a struggle. I love doing it, and it would take a heck of a lot for me to not do it. When I can do it, it takes a lot for me to not do it. But oh my god. Right, I need an ice cream and some water. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you all soon. Take it easy.